Hi, hello everybody. Welcome to Viva-Mundo's webinar. Today we are joined by the lovely Study in Denmark group, IBA International Business School. So they will be talking to you about the benefits of studying in Denmark and also more information regarding programs and many different ways in which you can progress in life in Denmark. So, I will get started with the lovely Anna Rosava. She will be doing your presentation today, and if you would like to ask any questions, please do. We will then be accepting them and discussing them at the end of the webinar in the Q&A box at the bottom of the screen. Please do ask any questions throughout, and this is what we're here for as well. All of you on Facebook, hello, and please register to the link, and then you can get this webinar either sent to you on demand or come over to Ask Live, which would be great. All right, I'm going to hand you over to our presenter now. Anna, would you like to continue?
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you for having me today. I'm very glad to present you this webinar that we call Become a Global Citizen by studying at IBA in Denmark. And I hope that I will convince you to understand why we say that you can become a global citizen while you study just in Denmark. Yes, first of all, I would like to tell you who am I and why am I presenting to you today. So as you can see on a slide first, there is Ildiko. Ildiko is our director of IBA International. She might stop by for the Q&A session as well. But today I will present to you the majority of slides. My name is Ala Rosova, and I'm an international coordinator. I do recruitment and admission of international students. I also help with our Confucius Institute with the events and registration for Chinese courses. And I was also a student at IBA. I finished International Sales and Marketing program in 2018. So I can also answer the questions not only from the employee point of view, but also I have an experience of being a student at the very same institution that I'm talking to you about today. And when I do presentations or webinars, I always explain why to choose Denmark as the country for your studies, for your higher education or continuing education. And then obviously I also talk to why to choose the certain institution, because I believe that it's very important to fall in love with the country as well and do a thorough research about the country where you would like to take the education. And I break down how to fall in love with Denmark to 3 points and how Denmark stand out from the rest of the world as well. So this is what I found out when I came as international to Denmark. And I think that Denmark has a very interesting culture, innovation, and hygge. So by culture, I mean their very big focus on teamwork. So for Denmark, it is very important that everybody work in the same team, that everybody work on the same goal. And sometimes it's even more important to be a really good colleague than have that extraordinary capabilities or abilities. So in Denmark, you have to be a team player. And by culture, it is also not really welcome to be standing out, from the crowd and brag about your abilities. So yeah, everybody is equal here. And by low power distance, I mean mainly is the relationship of the students and the professors and the teachers, because in Denmark we say that the teacher is your friend, but still a teacher. So you can usually talk to them freely about your personal life. You can joke around with them sometimes. But I always say, please remember that they are the ones who give you the grade for your exam. So you always have to keep the boundaries. You always have to remember that there is still a line between that. But this low power distance helps students in terms of their own ideas, expressing them a bit more freely. It reduces the stress and so on. So this is the main things by the culture that come in through the teaching as well. And probably when you signed up for this webinar, you saw also the point why Denmark is one of the innovation entrepreneurship leaders. So by couple of reports, actually by European Innovation Scoreboard, Denmark is one of the innovation leaders and third in Europe. And actually, Denmark also takes sixth place in the world in terms of innovation. So, and this also transfers to the working and teaching environment because we have our own innovation center as well. And we also focus on entrepreneurship. So our students have to constantly share their own ideas and share the ideas with the companies as well, how to solve the problems and so on. Because Denmark is also well known by its problem solving focus of teaching. So instead of basically just rewriting from the books what you learned before in your exams, you have to always and give an input from your own thoughts about every subject that you touch. And Hugo, I'm pretty sure that many of you have already heard it before. There's the whole book written about it, not only one even, as you can see on the screen as well. So Hygge is something that is not possible to translate to any other languages. It is a state of coziness, to being friendly, and being calm, for example, all together. And at the moment, Denmark is the second happiest country in the world, following Finland. And it's also interesting that five first countries in this happiness report are the Nordic countries. So there is also a reason to come to Denmark and try to find out this recipe for happiness and why Danes known as one of the happiest ones. I must say this is definitely not because of the weather. The weather here is not the greatest one must say. Well, only if you come in from Iceland, then probably you will find Denmark really pleasant. But on the other hand, it is quite grumpy weather. But then again, Denmark is still one of the happiest countries, right? So the weather must be not the most important thing. Yes. And now, also, I would like to point out the Danish education system, which is really similar to the German and Dutch education systems. So we have universities and we have university colleges and institutes of professional higher education. So as Academy, as you could see that we are International Business Academy, we are part of this higher education. So what it means that we are focused more on professional education. We focus on the job market and we mainly graduate professionals for the private sector. The only difference between the degrees that you get at academy and the usual university is that, as it mentions on the website, it's focused on professional. So we combine theory and practice. So each theory that you study here at the lesson, you have to try out and practice. We do a lot of group work, we do a lot of case studies, and also students on the majority of our programs have to go through internship to finish their program. So the level of the degrees, bachelor at the university and a bachelor at the academy is the same academic wise, but what you get out of it and how you study is different. And in academies, you mainly study in the smaller groups, so you have a bit more of a personal approach, while at the university, you usually attend a big lecture room as well. So this is the main difference because it's very important for you to know when I will be explaining the degrees. And as you can see, we divide basically the bachelor degree into two parts. So it calls AP degree for 2 years, and then to reach the level of the bachelor, here, students at the university, students go to 1 or 1.5 years more. Yes. And now this is the lovely map that I usually show to students, not to test their geographical abilities where Denmark is. I'm pretty sure all of you know where it is in Northern Europe, but it is mainly to show where our campus is. So our campus, we have the only one, and it's located in a city called Kolding. So yes, in Danish, we don't pronounce D, it's Kolding. And it has really good location because we're very close to the German border. So only 90 kilometers, so it will take you not more than 1 hour to get there by car or train. And also we have 45 kilometers only from the Billund International Airport. It's right where Legoland is. And so it's very easy to travel by train. If you're from Europe, and if you're from outside of Europe, you can just buy tickets to Billund. And then there is a very convenient bus that goes straight to the heart of Kolding as well. Yes. And a little bit more about the city, because as you can see, for some of you who come from small cities, probably that's going to be all right, or looking like a big city. From those of you who comes from big capitals and from very big cities, it's going to be really, really small, because the population of our municipality is about 93,000. But what's the most important for you, don't be scared by how small or big the city is. The most important for you to know that we are one of the student cities in Denmark, and we have approximately 4,500 students here. Because besides our campus, there are also other educational institutions. And also what's very important for students, that it's very safe and student friendly city. So if you need to convince your parents that you need to go to study abroad and they really worrying about safety and how you're going to live there all by yourself, for example, and so on. So this is the city where parents are very calm about their kids, I must say. So, and also for you to know as the international student that I always say that in Kolding, you either have to look for the troubles yourself or cause them yourself, because it's very, very calm city. And this is how it looks like. I just wanted to give you a little taste of it. As you can see, we don't really have tall buildings in here. Everything is reachable by foot or by bike. Majority of students don't really use public transportation because majority of student housing options are right close to the campus, like maximum, I think, 15, 20 minutes by foot. And this is the city center, and students usually, when we don't have COVID, excuse me, they graduate in this very castle. So this is really old castle from the 15th century. And this is the picture why I wanted to show why the Kolding, as I said, is a student hub. This is our students in our campus. And here, I hope you can see my cursor there, that here I'm showing you the gray building that we can see outside of our campus is SDU, University of Southern Denmark. Right across here is a Danish language school where our students learn Danish language. This is a design school. This is the part of the student apartments. So all educational institutions are located in the same area in the very city center. So besides IBA students and your classmates, you also have a chance to meet other students from other educational institutions, which is also very, very important because they study different programs. Some of them are designers, some of them are entrepreneurs, and then you will be either IT specialist, either business marketing specialist. So if you meet up with different kinds of professionals, some students even make their own startups later on. And this is our lovely campus. We moved in here in summer 2019. So soon will be 2 years. It is very open. It has an open concept, Danish design, very interesting architecture. You see that it's not really usual form as well. And we absolutely love this stairs that you can see from outside. And I must say, in winter, when you come to school or when I at least go to work, you can see the lights in this building and people going up and down the stairs or working in groups everywhere. So it has really, really good and good vibe of it. Like you can see that building is really alive. Yes, this is in the bottom the canteen area where students either work on groups, either they we eat there as well, lunch and so on. So, and then each floor reserved usually for certain programs. And now very important facts about our academy. So what is IBA calling? And by the name, students usually ask me, is this school private? And it is actually not. We are a public institution. We are fully accredited by the Danish Ministry of the Higher Education, which means that the questions about accreditation of the programs and the recognition of the degrees are not even there usually, because yes, all the programs are accredited and your degrees will be recognized in Europe and above as well. So this is a very good point for many students who want to be sure in the quality of their education. So we provide different kinds of degrees from AP to even MBA programs that I will show you a bit later. But very important that we have 1,500 full-time students. So, and approximately 1/3 of them are coming from outside of Denmark, which means that roughly we have each year 500 international students. And we have 52 different nationalities studying on campus. Now, actually, this year, I'm pretty sure we have a couple more added up. And we are quite proud of that. We're proud of keeping this international vibe and international classes as well. So of course you can't expect that you will have in one class all 52 different nationalities. It doesn't happen usually. This is across the whole campus, but usually in one class it's approximately 20 different nationalities as well. Yeah, and I found actually a couple of facts that I always say why students should choose our educational institution, because to be honest, we are one of 8 academies in Denmark, and many of us have the same degrees even. And to be honest, nowadays you can study business almost anywhere, right? So you need to choose the country probably where you want to live later on or what you want to learn from, and then also you need to choose the educational institution. So what would be something special about IBA? Well, as you could see, we're a medium-sized institution. While some might say that worldwide we're actually a very small-sized institution, but in Denmark we're medium. And it means for students that we have more or less personal approach to them, because teachers and employees usually know students in the face, and by the name. So when you come to classroom every time, so give the teachers a month, for example, to remember your name, but then they will know you personally. Instead of you just being a number in a classroom, you will be recognized all the time, and you will have a bit more personal approach to your teachers and to your classmates as well. Our main areas of expertise are business and IT related areas. So this is where our main programs are. And what's also important for our goal as well, that majority of our teachers are working professionals. It means that we don't have so many academics as a teaching staff, but majority of our teachers are those who build the career in the subjects that they're teaching now our students. So they have a lot of examples, they have a lot of personal experience with what they are teaching and what they are passing on. So this is very valuable, what you can learn from those. We also have approximately 85 international partners, I mean like different institutions. And this is important for you if you would like to go abroad for a short or long time period. So you can choose between 85 international partners. We have a partner on every continent almost. So there are quite a few of them, but I can tell you also about opportunities a bit later on. We also put a lot of focus on extracurricular activities. It's very important to be an active student because, to be honest, when I was a student, it is very boring to just come to lectures and only do your homework. We always encourage our students to do something extra, because you will get a bigger network, you will do a lot of extra things, and you will learn even more, to be honest. You never know about opportunities that might come up, right? And as I mentioned also in one of the slides, because of Denmark is one of the innovation leaders, we also, as an education institution, have a strong focus on innovation entrepreneurship. How, for example, we allow our students to do internships in their own startups. So if somebody have a dream to open their own company, to work on it, or already have a business plan, or would like to make one, they can do internship in their own startup. So we have even special place for those students where they sit at the table and so on. And we have a coordinator as well who helps them with the advice. And what's also important for us, we have a strong collaboration with regional businesses because we need to build a network of internship opportunities for our students. We need to have a lot of different case studies because majority of our exams are built and based on actual companies. So we need to have them on stock. And we also have to have a career days, for example. So this is something that differentiate us from other educational institutions in Denmark and also abroad. So this is very important parts why students choose IBA. One more point, and very important to point out, is that especially in academies, there is a focus on study groups. So there are a lot of group assignments. So when you come to study in academy in Denmark, it's very important that you're ready to do the personal effort, so you will have individual assignments, but you also will have study assignments as well, study group assignments. So it is not always easy to work in groups and especially multicultural groups, but I must say that it's a very valuable experience that you can bring from school already to the work environment. Because when you graduate, you have to find a job, you have to build a career, right? So it is really nice to say that, you know what, to your employer, I already learned it at school, how to deal with the discussions, how to deal with the teamwork, how to deal with conflicts within the multinational group. So this is very, very valuable experience that majority of our students really appreciate that they can do it at school, you know, because before you get the grade and not before you get the salary for it, right? And what's also quite special, but it's actually for Denmark in general as well, that we have quite an informal atmosphere. And that is also the reason why I don't wear suits today and to any of my presentations, because then students don't expect that we wear suits, because we don't. We don't have a uniform or we don't have a dress code. Of course, students have to look presentable, but it's very relaxed and very informal. So and that's why I love this picture. It might seem quite marketing heavy, but it's so simple and so easy. As you can see that one student comes with their lunch to warm it up, another student just met his friend on the way. So that's basically the vibe that we have at IBA. And also with the teachers, that you just say hi, and usually you address teachers by their first name. So yeah, it was really hard for me to get used to be honest, coming from the culture where we need to address the teachers by like professor and the full name. So here you only address them by the first name. So it's very informal. It's casual Friday every day, basically. So and for many students, it's like I already mentioned before, it's much easier to share their own ideas and to yeah, to stress a bit less about their studies and so on, because they know majority of people that they're surrounded by. And now, finally, coming from more general information, I'm coming to our offering. What do we offer? So now I would like to start on the study programs and the career opportunities as well. So this is a big slide, I know, but this is just all the English taught programs that we offer. Here's the blending of full-time and online programs as well. So I will stop now and almost on each of them as much as possible. So we have something that we call Danish study programs. It doesn't mean that they're taught in Danish, they're taught fully in English, but it's something that was developed in Denmark, and many academies have. I apologize for a very heavy slide, very wordy, but it was done because this webinar will be is recorded, so you can always get back to it and take a screenshot or pause it and find the information that you would need. So far, we just need to focus on a first bit on the program side. So if you finish in high school at the moment in your own country, so that you can look at these three options, at this first three. So we can teach you either business degree, in that sense, either IT degree. So marketing management is for those who want to build a career, obviously in marketing or as a consultant later on. It's a great foundation for all business careers and for other business degrees as well, because there is a blending of marketing, management, logistics, economics, statistics, and so on. It also teaches how all of these things correspond to each other and correlate in the company altogether, and it has focused on consumer. So it's more of a B2C market. So it's a really great foundation for the future career and for the future degrees in business as well. And if you're more interested in IT, we have a AP degree in multimedia design. And this is for those who would like to learn a combination of graphic design and web development. So it's not so much about computer science, because it's more heavy on how to build the websites, how to make the applications, for example, how to make graphic designs, and so on. And to be honest, this is one of the very popular degrees because in many countries, graphic design and web development are two separate things. You can't learn them together. And usually, graphic design is for private schools and it's very expensive, while web development is also it's more theoretical and so on. So this is something that students find really, really attractive and interesting in this offering in multimedia design. And if some of you who attend today are interested in Asian studies, for example, or are interested in working in companies that combine, these two worlds, to Europe and Asia, for example, and interested in learning Chinese as well, and so on. So we have quite unique offering. We have a Euro-Asia Business Management program, and students study 2 years in Denmark here at IBA. They study marketing management that I have described before. And then for 2 years, they have a possibility to go and study in Shanghai, in China, in our partner institution, Shanghai Lixin University of Accounting and Finance. So yeah, this is really great offer as well, and it's really, really popular among students. And later on, I hope you remember I showed you that Danish education system, that to get a bachelor degree, you need to do an AP, right, and a top up. So for those of you who will study business, we have a top up in international sales and marketing as well. And it's also for those students who have minimum 120 CTS in business related studies. So this is something that builds up on AP degree, usually to reach the bachelor level. And it's also continuing basically all those things that you would be learning in marketing management, again, marketing, economics, statistics, logistics, and so on, but on a bit of a higher level. And now we're moving from B2C, from the consumer point of view, we're moving to the business to business and business to government point of view more. Again, I think that it's better to leave it for Q&A later on. This is the general idea of what we have. And it's also very important because students ask all the time, what are my career opportunities after I finish one or another of them? So if you finish IT-related studies, these are mainly the career opportunities what students at least go to after they finish multimedia design or informatics. So they work as web developer, application developer, as you can see, because you study also developer languages, then you can work as a front-end developer, UX designer. Some of them choose the path of social media managers as well. So you see it gives quite a few options. So you don't have just one option that you will be just IT consultant or IT administrator. So it gives you a bit bigger variety as well. And if you finish one of the business related studies like marketing and sales, usually our students after graduation find jobs as a marketing assistant, for example, purchasing agents, salesmen, sales assistants, or project coordinators as well. And I actually need to add in here that some of them pursue the career in consultancy because you know, the degrees that you get usually cover a lot of different things, as I mentioned, in a company and how they correlate between each other. So sometimes for a consultancy job, you need a master degree as well, but it is possible to find a job there. And we also work very closely with our partner in the UK, with the Coventry University. I'm pretty sure many of you have heard about them. And we have programs that we offer together with Coventry. What it means that we offer their curriculum. You study in Denmark and you get a British diploma afterwards from Coventry University. These programs, all students have to pay tuition fees, and we have them on a bit higher level. So you see, we don't have any degrees yet that are offered straight from the high school. So to get one of those degrees for the top of bachelor's, you need to have minimum 120 CTS, or if you finish a P degree with us as well, you can go for it. So international business obviously focus on business, and informatics is mainly for those who finish like multimedia design, or if they previously finished any IT related degrees as well. And we have two master degrees. So if you one of those who have a bachelor degree in business related studies, you can look into master in international business, and it takes only 12 months to complete it. And if you're one of those who have a bachelor degree and minimum 2 years of management work experience, so for example, what it means management is means that you were leading a team of minimum five people, and you were leading it like in sales or in the project and so on. You can also look into option of MBA. And I can't see a Q&A, but I assume that sometimes students ask, why would I take a UK degree in Denmark when you can take exactly the same degree in Coventry University in the UK? And here are some points. So as I mentioned, you study a UK curriculum, you get a UK diploma, but you will be studying by Danish approach because you still live in Denmark, you study in the academy. So all the things that I said before about group work, about case studies, about going to companies and so on, it still applies here. So in UK, it's more of a theoretical way of teaching, and you come to the lessons where you're sitting in a big room and listen to the lecture, while here you sit mainly with a group of 35 people. We give you more of a professional approach to the education, but you get exactly the same diploma as if you would go to Coventry University. It's actually cheaper. The tuition is much less than in the UK that you would pay in Coventry. And it's actually also a bit less in cost of living in our city in Kolding. So I know that maybe many of you would say Denmark is quite expensive, but when we think about Denmark, we usually think about Copenhagen. And Copenhagen is indeed quite a expensive city. But in Kolding, it's approximately from 700 to 800 euros a month to cover your living costs. Of course, depends on your style of living. But yes, usually it's enough to cover the accommodation, food, and so on. So it is much less than if you would study in the UK in Coventry. Then also for many, it's very important that you have a possibility to work in Denmark. You can combine your studies and work. So EU citizens can study full-time, while part-time students can work up to 20 hours and can work full-time in summer. Because in the UK, I think it's not really allowed to work as well, especially for the non-EU students. So here it's a little bit better combination for that. And of course, if you would like to build a career in Denmark and you would like to stay in Denmark for later on, it's also maybe better than to come and study here, even a UK degree, but continue building your network here and yeah, and just learn about Denmark more. And also very important that we have a free healthcare system for all students. So when you become a student here in Denmark, no matter EU or non-EU citizen, you will be covered by the Danish healthcare system. It doesn't include the dentist, but I don't think the dentist is ever free, unfortunately. But yes, so if you would need to go to a doctor and so on, so it is completely free. So you don't have to pay very expensive insurance companies for that, for all the time where you while you're studying and living here. And also for non-EU citizens, for non-EU students, it's important that when you get the residence permit in Denmark, you basically get a Schengen visa. So it gives you a possibility to travel within Schengen area without any extra visa costs and so on. So it's also have been very important part for many of our non-EU students that they say that it's also very much easier for them. Yes, and very quickly go through if some of you are interested in online options. So we have e-learning programs as well. And in here, our partner from the UK is Leeds Beckett University. So if you don't have a possibility to move to a new country, for example, or if you're just looking for online options as well, because I mean, nowadays online education growing, right? I mean, nowadays almost any education is an online education in the majority of countries. So we got a lot of questions about e-learning. So we have 3 programs with the Leeds Beckett University. And as you can see, tuition fees are almost the same as for the full-time programs, but you need to remember that you save up on the living costs, you save up on the moving costs as well. And it's also more flexible that all students, when they study the online courses, they only pay each unit that they take. So you don't have to pay this amount of money upfront. You can pay by installments, as we call it, and you can pay it by, as I say, you can even take breaks. For example, you can take 1 semester, then you can take a break, and that is why it's written here that you can finish it in 1.5 years, but you have 6 years to finish the degree as well. So it's very flexible. It's also for those who would like to continue with their jobs, for example, or can't leave their families, but still want to get an international education. So here is the option. So we have a top up for those who have as a minimum 120 credits or AP degree. We have master degree if you have a bachelor degree in business areas. And we have European Executive MBA. So if you have bachelor's degree in any field and work experience, you can do an MBA as well to boost up your career further. Yeah, good. Now again, we come into a heavy slide. Sorry for that. But just to give you the overview that we have for some programs, we have 2 intakes. We call it autumn and spring. So next coming intake is autumn. So for those who would like to start to study with us in September, you need to be careful to see because we have different kinds of deadlines. We don't have just one. So if you finish high school and you would like to join us for AP degree, it's actually 15th of March. So it's really close. It's roughly 3 weeks that you need to move on. But for marketing management, for example, we also have a spring intake. So for top up with Coventry universities, usually we have 15th of June as a deadline, and for e-learning, 1st of September. But I advise you, so we don't go there here in the details now because it's really heavy. Just choose the program that you would like and go on a website because you will find more information there and more precise deadline. Yeah. So, and by the checklist, it's basically what you need to send usually for all the programs. Of course, you need to provide your education documents. So either if you apply for AP degree, you need a high school diploma and the transcripts of records. And for master degrees, you need your bachelor degrees as well. But what's the most important is that all our students write a motivation letter. So you have to do it as well for each program. It's also important that you need to find out how to prove their English proficiency. It's very important, and every international student have to do it. We have quite a few options on the website listed, how many different tests and so on, and which tests we accept. And also important to know that for non-EU students, we have an application fee of approximately 100 euros. So before you make an application for any program, there is an application fee as well that you need to attach to the application. So please, if you're interested in any of the programs, just go on our website and yeah, and just check all the needed things. And now I already mentioned probably 10 times that we focus on a career, right? And how do we do that and how do we help students? So we have an IBA career office and we focus on the future career planning as it says on the slide. So we have career advisors, we have a company consultant as well, and our career office provides dialogue and guidance to our students, mainly about their application to the jobs and how to build an effective CV. So we don't place students, we don't put them from the program to the internship. We never do that. We don't find them jobs, we don't place them. Students, as the first step, have to do it themselves as the first step. And we are here to guide them at IBA. For example, we have a job portal, IBA job portal, where the companies that we are in network with, they advertise internships, they put their student jobs, sometimes even full-time jobs. So we are there to guide you. We're there to help you with the planning, but we will not place you for the internship or for the job. And it's also a very Danish way because students here since 16, 17 years old, very independent. And that's also the cultural thing that it's not normal here, I must say, to just play students or walk with them across the road, by the hand as well. So when you come to Denmark, you need to expect to be responsible for your studies, and you will have to grow up very fast. Well, majority of students when they go abroad, right, you need to grow up very fast, and that's what you come in for as well. But yeah, so these are three lovely ladies from the IBA career who help our students with their future career planning. And here are also, because many students then say, oh, then how do I find an internship if you will not place me? Well, obviously you have to do your own research. You do research, you try to find companies or areas where you would like to build a career, of course, later on. Then also we have IBA career fairs that you actually some of them you must attend. So we have certain companies, and then you chat with them and see if they have a place for you, for example. Then also we always advise to participate in different social events in the city or in Denmark and network. Your own network is also a very valuable source. Remember, that's what you come in for abroad. And so just do a lot of networking, find a lot of friends. So it's very important for the future as well. And that's how usually students find internships. And of course, use the job portal. So this is how it looks like. It's very easy. I don't know what students are afraid of sometimes. So yeah, this is basically some tips how to find an internship. I will speed up a little bit because I see that I've been talking for 43 minutes. I would like to leave the time for Q&A. So now, just to say what do extra we offer, because I mentioned as well that you can study business and IT in many places of the world and in different academies or institutions. But when you choose the educational institution, try to also look what extra do they offer, because it's also very important what you can do extra besides your studies. So, and now I will explain why we call it Become a Global Citizen. As it was mentioned before, we have 85 partners. And what you can do on majority of our programs, you can take a semester abroad. So you can take an exchange. And we are part of Erasmus Plus network. We're part of Magellan Exchange, and we have different bilateral agreements as well. So I think you have to be really, really picky if you can't find an option for yourself. So because usually students really find it very easy. If you don't want to go for a very long time, or if on the program there is no option of exchange semester, you can always go to international marketing or multimedia or business week. So it is a week when we send our students to one of the partner institutions, and they are working on a project there, basically, usually also with the local companies. And the most popular places are to go to international weeks are France, Finland, Austria, Belgium, for example, Hungary in Budapest. So, and students sometimes do 2, 3 even weeks like that. So it's also very valuable experience. You can also do internship abroad. It's allowed to do it in Denmark or abroad. And for those who study Chinese with us, they also have the opportunity to go to summer camp in China. So about summer camp, we have a Confucius Institute. Maybe some of you heard about this. So with our partner in Shanghai, we formed the Confucius Institute, and we offer free Chinese language teaching for all students and teachers as well and staff. We host a lot of cultural business events as well. And we are also an official test center, HSK test. So if you would like to take a Chinese language proficiency test, you can do it with us, basically. And those students who study Chinese with us and who pass HSK tests, they can go to a 2-week summer camp. It's free, basically free for students, because students only pay flight tickets and visa. And everything else, like language learning, cultural activities, sightseeing as well, is free for our students when they go there. So I can say, I can show a small picture. This is the group that we took 2 years ago in 2019. 35 students, and they finished with this very interesting Chinese diplomas as well. And many of them said that this was one of the best experiences of their life to learn about different culture, and especially to go a bit deeper in the Asian culture. We also have a student life, so we encourage students to join one of these branches, like sports life, culture, or nightlife. So you can also join those students with the same interest as you, and you can make different kinds of events. Obviously, in the COVID times, we can't host on-site events. We have to do many things online, but we're still doing this. So it's very important for us to continue and to provide this kind of things. So, and students respond very positively about this, even though it's online, but it's really nice that it's still happening. We have also what is unusual for many countries, that we have a special room for students that when there is no COVID, it's open 24/7. So we host their different cultural events. We have their Friday bar, and they're like, for example, movie nights as well. And usually students can come there even in the middle of the night if they would like to. They can hang out with their own friends, play board games, and so on. So yeah, hopefully soon it will be open again for everyone. Very important in Denmark, actually, everybody running, cycling here. So majority of population are very sporty. So we have our own running club. So all students and employees are welcome to join. And we usually have a certain time, for example, and then you just come to the campus at a certain time and we just run. So it's for beginners, it's for experienced runners, for example. So we just run all together and yeah, it's just really nice to be a part of it. So for example, before I joined this club, I never could run more than 2 kilometers. And now after I've been part of it for 2 years, I can run 9. So I take it as a personal achievement, but also as the achievement of the club because it's much more fun to run together with others, right? Also very important that when you become a student with us, when you get admission notice, very exciting already, but many students like don't know where to start and what to do. So we have an option of buddy. So if you would like, you can request a student volunteer who has been here for 2, 3 semesters, for example. So it will be one of your first friends here in Denmark. So you can ask them all this kind of questions like how's the weather, what should I take, where is the best place to live, and so on. And IBA tutors are the ones who will meet you on the very first day. Question, I don't know if somebody already asked, but where students live. So we don't have a campus. We're actually not really allowed to have a campus and provide students with accommodation, but it is not as scary. Our local municipality are in charge of student housing. So when students are admitted, they basically go on this website. You can even check it out already yourself, studentholding.dk. And you apply basically to different kinds of apartments. They're usually unfurnished, but our students are always very fast in finding all the things. Yeah, should I speed up a bit? Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, it took a little bit more time. So I will not focus on this more, but I just wanted to come to that slide, to the final one. That to finalize my presentation because I gave a lot of information. So our motto of the IBA is education that works because we work on a personal development and we focus on career of our students and we try to provide an international environment as well. So this is the most important components that you have to remember from today, to be honest. So now I'm finally ready to answer on your questions.
Great, great. Thank you so much for a brilliant presentation. A lot of information there. But like you said, it will be recorded. So if you do need to
Exactly.
pause, take some notes, please do. But we have quite a few questions actually for
Good.
you, which is really interesting. A lot of them I think you have touched on. So I may just
Yeah.
skip through. There is one particular question about programs. So for how long will programs be taught online for during COVID times?
Yeah. Good, good question. The thing is that it all depends on the situation, because we had to teach online last year, obviously when the COVID just started and every country started to go in a lockdown, but we were able to open the campus in September, for example. So we last semester we have been fully teaching on site. Now in this semester we're teaching online only for 1 month, and at the moment we are planning to open up in April if the situation allows. So and Denmark also announced that they would like to vaccinate everyone in Denmark by the end of July. So at the moment we are planning, I actually had it, we are planning on-site teaching from September 2021. If the situation is really bad, I wish I would be able to tell you. But if I knew this information, I probably instead of this webinar, I would be talking a TV today. If I knew the answer to exactly to this question. But we are planning to start on site from September 2021.
Okay, awesome. The next question. I would like to study Danish. Do I need to have Danish as a language to come and study in Denmark?
No, it's very lucky that in Denmark, the majority of population speaks very good English. So you will not need to use it in the very beginning, at least. So no worries about that. And all the programs that I presented here, they taught in English. But our local municipality, they are in charge of educating all the internationals with the Danish language. So it's free, free of charge for everyone, and it's right across the street from our campus. I can even quickly roll back. So you can just go and learn Danish there. And they have intensive courses, but we always advise to go for evening courses so it doesn't interfere with your studies and part-time job. But it's totally possible.
Oh,
Possible.
awesome. That's great. Well, we have another question about language, particularly English. So, what level of English do I need to study a marketing program?
Yes, the level of English is IELTS 6.5 or equivalent to other like TOEFL and so on. So it is, I must say that IELTS 6.5 overall is the very first band which is you're comfortable of studying abroad in English academically. So yeah, it is not very high, but it is not very low.
Okay. And
Mm.
what opportunities are there to develop research?
We are not so much of the research institution, but we have an opportunity on our top up programs that you can join one of the professors or the teachers, and if they do any research or if they yeah write any articles and so on, so you can join them. But otherwise, we are University of Applied Sciences mainly, so it's more focused on the career than on academical career later on.
Okay, great. And actually, there's a question here that is, I think, very relevant to today times. Do you offer psychological support to your international students?
Yes,
I know
let
you
me
have a
show.
slide about this.
Yes, exactly. I actually have a slide about this. And to be honest, as I mentioned, because at the moment we're teaching online only for a month, right? But we always focus on students' well-being. Even when I have the pre-departure webinars for students, we always say that mental health is as important as the physical health. We have a student advisor. Here's Lena, and we have another one as well. One more, she is ready and she is always waiting for any talks, so you can book the time. So if you have any exam anxiety, or especially in the COVID times, yes, if you feel very lonely or if you don't know how to cope with it, she is there to have the personal talks. For example, now we also have a program that calls Corona Buddies at IBA. So more than 38 students volunteers for that. So they are ready to be online or offline to go for walks, for example, or help you how to cope, how they cope with this, how they build their schedule. And our Lina, you can actually go on our, we are on Instagram as well if you want to see. So Lena gave some tips how to cope with the situation. And to be honest, what I learned as well, that we need to remember to lower our expectations to ourselves and to others as well.
Mhm.
So unfortunately, we're not able to study on the same pace as we were, and we're not able to work at the same pace. So you need to just lower expectations, try to build your days, like schedule them. But yes, shortly answering, yes, we do offer support.
No, that's great, and I think it's amazing that you do. I think it's a very important thing right now. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think it'll be a big help to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a couple more questions, and then I think
Yeah.
a few of them have been touched on, so I won't linger
Yeah.
on those two. So will the academy help us to find accommodation before arrival, or will I have to find that on my own?
Students have to apply on their own because we don't have campus, unfortunately.
Okay.
But it is quite easy. I must say, for students, it's usually there is no difference between them applying for accommodation to a university, to us, or if they apply directly to the local municipality. And this is the website that I provided, studentcalling.dk. It's a local municipality, so it's safe to use, and it's very fast usually. So if you apply right after you get your admission notice, you already get accommodation in the midsummer.
Okay,
Mm.
awesome. Do you have an on-campus library? I presume you do.
Yes, we have a very small library on the fourth floor, but we also have a big library in the city where students actually also have to sit. Usually our group works in a campus, like on campus in different parts. We have a lot of group work areas. So we don't work usually in a library, as in research institutions, if that what the question was
Yeah.
about.
No,
But
that's
yeah, but students also go to the public library, which is 5 minutes from our campus.
awesome. Okay, that's good to know. I
Yeah.
think a lot of students will be helpful with that. And let's finish up on this last
Yeah.
question. Do you offer any scholarship opportunities to international students?
So if it's EU students, then on many programs they can study for free, right? There's tuition free, for example, on AP and so on. If it's non-EU citizens, unfortunately, we don't work with scholarships because we're governmental institutions, so we don't have any scholarships options. So if they're non-EU citizens and if they're EU citizens that want to study UK programs, everyone has to pay tuition fees. But on the other hand, I see that there is also a question, could I work while studying in Denmark? So all students allowed to work, even non-EU, with the restriction of hours. So that's also a little bit of a help to them when they can work part-time, while in some other countries it's not allowed, like in the
Hmm.
USA, for example.
Yeah, of course. All right. Well, thank you so much for the presentation and for your time today. We really appreciate it. Do you have a slide of a contact slide, maybe that they can contact you?
Oh, sorry. Yes, I will just put it very quickly. So my
Yes.
my name is again Ala Rosova. And you can always just email me to alro@iba.dk. And our website is iba.dk. So yeah, and you can just switch it to English. So you're always welcome to contact me if you have any extra questions or something was a bit confusing, because I know that there's a lot of information. So just contact us directly and we will take it from there. So we are there to help you to find a course or something like that that you would like to study. You can also actually, if let's say I go on a vacation and I can't answer very quickly, you're also welcome to write to apply@iba.dk.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time.
Great.
Thank you guys for watching. Please do go and visit viva-mondo.co.uk and you will find out more information on many, many institutions. But thank you for your time and we will definitely be in touch. If you have any questions, please get in touch and we can always provide you the right contact information. Any last words?
I only would like to also thank everyone who participated for their time, and also for those who will be watching me later on. Also, thank you for your time. Thank you for your interest. And we are really looking forward to see your name in one of our applications.
Awesome. All right. Well, have a lovely
Great.
day and take care, everybody, and stay safe.
Exactly the same from me. Okay, bye bye.
Bye.